Thank you for clicking play on the video. I'd like to ask you to click the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so that you can get alerted every time we bring out great content. Thanks. Hey comic fans, it's Jimmy the Geek Aficionado, and I'm back with another episode of what was in that big ass collection that you bought. Dude, wait, no, that's not it. Well, close enough, right? Anyway, so this is our Street Level Heroes edition, right? And let's just start off with the biggest street level hero, my man, Daredevil. Let's get that out there. Sorry. All right, so there was a Daredevil #1 in this collection. Sadly, it was missing a page. And even more sadly, our friend loved tearing pages out of his early comic books because this wonderful copy of Daredevil #5, featuring the first Wally Wood art on Daredevil and the first appearance of the Matador, is also missing a page from the back. Fortunately, it does not affect the story, which is awesome. So if you pick it up, it's, you can still read the whole thing, right? And not have to worry about, value, right? Also, in that is another book that he took a page out of. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. So this is the first Daredevil red costume, and again, it is missing a page, unfortunately. I don't remember if it affects the story. I don't think it does. I think it's like the last page. It's like a letters page. But there you go, right? So I'll probably slab these up, actually. They'll get a different label on them, and I'll send them out because, or I'll sell them raw to, somebody watching this video and make them happier. Don't know yet quite what I'm going to do, but there you go. So that's those. I'm going to move these over here. But those weren't the only early issues of Daredevil. It didn't have a #2, but it did have a #3 featuring the first appearance of the Owl. Quite possibly the weirdest villain that Daredevil actually had. Also got 2 copies, both damaged, of the first appearance of the Purple Man. Right, who, to be honest, is one of the cooler villains that they actually created, because if you saw the Jessica Jones series, the man can be truly terrifying. He really can. A little campier in this one, but what I enjoyed in my childhood, I grew up in the 80s reading these books, and one of the series that I read pretty much religiously was Alpha Flight, right? Because I was a huge X-Men mutant fan, and that team was full of mutants as well. Mutants and other stuff, right? But the Purple Man's daughter was in there, and she had similar powers, right? So apparently the Purple Man made it up to Canada at some point, and there you go. And one of Daredevil's lesser villains, the Stilt Man. Now the best thing about the Stilt Man was when the Punisher blew him up in Civil War. That was epic. Okay, shoots up into the sky, and the Punisher levels a rocket launcher on him and just kind of blows him off of his stilts. Pretty tragic, and very violent, but still kind of pretty cool for comics, right? But this is Daredevil issue #8, the first appearance of the Stilt Man. May he stilt again. Who knows? Okay. Now, some of the best stuff from... I'm going to put this over here. Some of the best stuff from Daredevil is when he's with Spider-Man, and issue number 16 and 17, where Daredevil meets Spider-Man in comics, are fantastic. I think these are Romita. I'll research that and I'll put it below as to what it was, but these are great books. They absolutely are. They're both high grade books, and they're staying in my personal collection. But yeah, I was always a big fan of these two classic issues. This one, a little less classic, but still really cool. This is the first Gladiator. Now, if you have watched the Daredevil series, the TV show on Netflix, the Gladiator, whose name I can't recall, just look below for that detail, but he was the guy who actually designed Daredevil's suit in the show. and he, you know, like there was like pieces of his gladiator outfit like laying all over the workplace, you know, the workbench, and like you see like, you know, saw blades and stuff, and everybody who's a big fan was like, hee, that's cool. And we always hoped that he would show up kind of in his outfit, though he never really did. And then rounding up this round is a nice high-grade copy of Daredevil number 43, the classic Jack Kirby cover where he battles the Captain. And I mean, it's awesome, right? That's a great book. It's a great book. Anytime you see that, pick it up because it's a cool book, and it stays, you know, pretty significant in value, in my opinion. At least it's definitely a high fan favorite. I think my friend Barrow Island Comics was looking for one last year. I don't know if he got one or not. We'll have to check back in with him. Here's a couple more issues that are interesting, and again, to the Daredevil TV series. This is Daredevil 69. This is the first appearance of Turk Barrett. Now, if you're not familiar with who Turk Barrett is, because he doesn't have like a funny, you know, superhero or supervillain name, Turk Barrett is the street hood that one, he beats up in the first episode, and two, is kind of somebody that they keep going back to for information. He shows up again in the Luke Cage show as well. So Turk Barrett. Now, later in the Daredevil series, he gets into a relationship with an Avenger that a lot of us already know. Issue number 81, Black Widow joins the Daredevil title. Right, and they start dating, and this is a nice high-grade copy of this. There's also some speculation that we've heard that Black Widow may be returning and being in a Daredevil show or movie or something along those lines, but hey, we have no idea, right? To this point, she's still dead until that movie actually ever gets released and we find out what the real cheese is. And then in issue number 92, the Daredevil title actually changes to Daredevil and the Black Widow. So she's in there for quite some time. She gets in there through the 100s and into the early teens. She's still a part of the show. So we've got those. And what else do we have? All right, so we're still talking street level heroes. We're going to get into a little bit different, right? Issue 25 of Astonishing Tales is the first appearance of Deathlock the Demolisher. Deathlock's a pretty cool character, right? I'm just gonna call it out, right? So, he's like the Marvel cyborg, and he's like wrecked looking. Showed up in the Adventures, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series. Here's another cool one. This is the Cat. Beware the Cat. So the Cat, if you're not familiar, is a character who becomes another character that people might be aware of. Cat's name is Greer Grant, and Greer Grant gets transformed into the character Tigra. So she has a 4-issue miniseries here with the Cat, and then in giant-sized Marvel Creatures #1, she becomes Tigra, and then has a short run in Marvel Chillers, before joining the Avengers. And I think she has a one-shot or so in Marvel Spotlight, or one of those Marvel anthology series. Anyway, so 2 issues of the first appearance of Greer Grant as the Cat. And then we also have this really cool Master of Kung Fu Annual #1. Now, what's great about this book, and this is one to keep your eye on, this is the first appearance of the 2 main Kung Fu or martial arts characters in Marvel Comics. This is Shang-Chi and Iron Fist meeting for the first time in Marvel Comics. They do in one of the magazines, I believe ahead of this, in the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu magazine, or it's a special, actually. But this is the first time in Marvel Comics, comic-sized comics, that they actually meet up, and I think there's a fight in there as well. You know, it's a Kung Fu title. Who knows? So, cool stuff from the collection, but none cooler than this. We're talking street level heroes, right? We can't talk street level heroes without talking about Power Man, right? Luke Cage, the hero for hire. This collection had not one copy, not 2 copies, but 3 copies. The lower grade one I already sold off. Of Hero for Hire #1, Luke Cage Hero for Hire. I had gotten a copy of this from another collection some time back, and that got an 8.0 grade from CGC. This book is hard to get in high grade. It's got an all black bordering cover, right? And there's obviously more color in the center, but the whole border of the book is black. And again, black comics, they show everything, right? And from the 70s, still not a lot of love being shown to comics by the owners and the kids and stuff like that. So this book, I'm hoping that one of these is going to break the 8.0 mark. Try. But not just Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1, but we also have 2 copies of Luke Cage Hero for Hire #2. So, second appearance of Luke Cage, but the first appearance of somebody that was pretty big in the actual Marvel Netflix series, and that's Claire Temple, who was portrayed by Rosario Dawson, who, if anybody's seen it now, Rosario Dawson is now Ahsoka Tano. So she's got Star Wars and she's got Marvel, so she's going to be pretty busy if they continue to use her when they do eventually bring Luke Cage back into cinema. But 2 copies, first appearance of Claire Temple, the nurse, and 2 copies, actually 3 copies of Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1. And that concludes our street level hero collection from the Monster Marvel comic collection that I bought. Stay tuned. We will be bringing more. And thank you again for watching.